Let's not try to trace further the term pragmatics and its use uh, as it was done by various philosophers in various phases of its development. The post-war war Oxford philosophers who worked rigorously on the meanings of language in use didn't use this term pragmatics particularly in their works. Rather, they relied on various other terms. Although this term was already proposed as a label for the study of meaning in use by Morris, who was a famous semanticist of the last century. He, while talking about the various kinds of signs and their meanings in his book Foundations of the Theory of Signs, he distinguished between syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. He sees syntax as a study of the relationship between various formal relationship between various signs in a certain sequence, and he sees semantics as the study of the relationship between the signs and their meanings or the objects they denote in the real world. So semantics can roughly be seen as the study of the meaning of the signs, according to Morris. Further, he talked about pragmatics as the science of the relation of signs to their users, the people who use signs, how they use signs in different situations, or what new meanings do they create from their users, may be seen as a domain of pragmatics, according to Morris. Morris talked further and developed this concept in one of his later works, like language and behavior, science, language, and behavior. And he says that pragmatics deals with the origins, uses, and effects of signs with the total behavior, within the total behavior of the interpreters, of users. How the users of those signs interpret them, use them, or create a certain impact or effect based on those signs in certain situations. That is the domain of pragmatics, according to Morris. Morris' views are about the origin, or Morris' views on pragmatics are probably one major factor in the origin of pragmatics as a subfield of linguistics. There could be other possible factors behind this. There could be some genuine thoughts about the need of such field of study in linguistics, which deals with human languages. We can see that we have some disciplines similar to pragmatics existing previously also. For example, classical rhetoricians, they used various terms which were very close to convey the meaning of pragmatics. They discovered figures of speech who could give us the meanings beyond conventional or literal meanings of the words, or who could develop new meanings of words in multiple situations. Similarly, the classical definition of verbal irony is like a figure of speech in which the meaning is the opposite of what one's words mean. So we all know this definition to some extent, that irony deals with the opposite meaning or the intended opposite meaning of what is being said. So this kind of meanings were already talked about, has already been talked about by people from time immemorial. And this kind of knowledge actually provided us the basis for contemporary pragmatics, and it also helped us in the development of the term pragmatics also. Pragmatics as a discipline, academic discipline, developed only somewhere in 1970s. Prior to this, we can see that it was used in a different way by various philosophers working in the field of language, or the meanings of the language in use. So, for example, the formal semanticist Richard Montague, who worked in late 1960s, sees pragmatics as the study of any language containing indexical terms. So this is a very limited uh, sphere which was allotted by Montague to pragmatics. We can see that contemporary pragmatics is wider in scope and looks into various aspects of the meaning, how they are developed by the speakers of a language and of various languages, and how they employ those meaning skillfully in various kinds of communication in multiple contexts.